If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and spread the word. So as you see there by that little intro, this week is about the rest, and obviously that causes a lot of problems because it is tough to use. There's a lot of different kinds of the ways of holding the cue. You know, there's one finger, two fingers. I don't think there's many rules really there. I think you've got to try and find something, like most things, my philosophy, find something you can repeat and then crack on. I wouldn't advise doing it like Tony Drago used to do. He used to sort of hold it, I think, in between his fingers there and sort of punch at the ball. And Tony really did struggle with it. But yes, try and be a bit more orthodox than that. In the game, there's some fantastic players with a rest. I think Kyron and Sean are two of the most sort of famous for it. I think they sort of do a few of the things that I talk about here, if not all of them, I think. But yeah, they're fantastic players with a rest. You know, to the point where we really see them miss. Why do they use the hand? There's some other, amongst others, some other great players in the game with a rest. So yeah, it's an implement that you've got to practice with, and if you don't come naturally, you've sort of got to work on it. So, but even though they are great players with a rest, the best player I ever saw with a rest was a ex-professional called David Rowe. He was a top 16 player, and he was a player that I say is probably the best I've ever seen with it. I started playing with Dave when I was probably about 15, and he showed me how to play really. And yeah, with a rest, incredible. Not just could he pot everything with it. You know, his control of the cue ball was the best I've ever seen. You know, he'd run inside, drag left, right side, just anything he needed to do, he could do it. So yeah, that was amazing, really. So yeah, how you doing, Dave? Big shout out. But on saying that, you don't need to do that with a rest. Most people just. But on saying that, you don't need to do that with a rest. Most people just want to sort of get through it, get the ball in, and get on the next ball as quickly as possible to sort of carry on playing with both hands. Some people have gone down the route of using the opposite hand, left if you're right-handed, obviously. And if you can do that, that's fantastic. A lot of players in the game do that. I can remember when, I think the most famous one was Ronnie O'Sullivan, was back in the day. That never really happened, and Ronnie O'Sullivan did it against Alan Robidoux, and everybody was like, "Oh wow, it's so disrespectful," but it wasn't. You know, I think if you can do it, do it. And like I say, now that's sort of most players are doing it. You know, especially the younger generation. But I am one of those players that can't play. I'm so right-handed and right-footed. Sweet at right foot on me, to be fair. Yeah, I just can't do it the other way. I think another player in the game that's really bad with the opposite hand is Mark Williams. I know he's awful right-handed, to the point where we've played when we're in China and we're jet lagged or wherever on the practice tables. We've actually played against each other with the opposite hand, and the frames will last quite a long time. It's like your local league match, really. And I think I win most of the time, but we're both horrendous, and it's quite fun to watch. So have a look at this video of me on the table, and I think these are the three most common problems that I see people make, or mistakes that they make. So have a look, see if it rings any bells. Right, these are the three biggest mistakes I see people making. First, the bridge of the rest is too close to the white, which means that they can't pull the cube up very far, which means they're promoting that quick, inaccurate hit, which obviously we all know is not good. You do that with your bridge hand, it's exactly the same. So it's really hard to just pace, to be accurate, all that, no good. So bring it a bit further back. And if you look at the top players with the rest, they all give themselves enough room to have that longer swing. The other one is that even if they give themselves that room, they're looking down the line of aim like that, but their face or their chin is in the way. So even if they've got the room to pull back, They can't because the face and chin's in the way. So give yourself a bit of room at the back. As a rule, when you pull the cue all the way back to the bridge of the rest, you should still not be at your chin. So you can sort of start there to find that position, and then you can sort of have that nice smooth hit. The other one is that obviously people trying to look down the line, they end up being a bit square. So they sort of look at that line like that, and they're dead square. The shoulders and the feet are dead square. Now, to hit a good shot with the rest, you've sort of just got to straighten your arm, really. But you can see there, look, I'm sort of reaching for it to get through it because my shoulders are so square. So if you just put a bit side on like that, and hopefully we can put it together. So we'll find the middle of the white, even though they don't exist. Hopefully get on the blue. Perf. So there you go. Hopefully it hasn't helped you because you're good with the rest. But if it has, if you're not very good with it, hopefully that has sort of helped you out a little bit. I think another thing you can do is actually cueing down the bolt line. People who think you've gone a bit mad, but what that will do is help you sort of know what straight feels like. Because ultimately you need to be playing on instinct when you're playing properly. You don't want to be thinking about technique or do I want to do this, do that, the other, because it's not good. Don't go in the circle of death, no good. So yes, if you can sort of learn what that feels like, you can repeat it and crack on. Okay, I hope that was all right this week. Please comment if you agree with me or disagree with me, or if you want me to explain it better. Hopefully that will make you better and you will play better. See you later.